Welcome back. I'm Shannon. We got ourselves another video. We got ourselves an Anton video. They're about to talk about the Shannon Sharpe situation, and I ain't gonna lie, it's getting weird because there's women now running around saying they blame Shannon Sharpe for this situation, even though they don't believe the younger lady. So it's wild. It's kind of like the thing where if a guy say that, you know, ma'am, you did this to yourself, so this is your fault. You know, the thing that some of the things that guys be saying, but it don't be this extreme, and the women say you're victim blaming. Yeah, kind of seems like that, right? Kind of seems like they're victim blaming. But you know, it's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it. Anton is gonna look at all of them and explain to them that, hey yo, do y'all hear what y'all saying right now? Like, this is wild. This guy was talking to a younger lady, which is legal. He was talking to a younger lady, and now once he got paid, like a lot of money, she's now finna try to sue him for something, but they're gonna double down on it and say that, yeah, she lied. Yeah, he did everything legally. Yeah, but you know, it's still your fault. But hold up, just in this video, I need you to hit the like button, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. In the comment section, give me a thumbs up or a heart. Just let me know that it's real. But let's waste no more time. Let's roll the clip. Oh, you know what that was? Oh, that doo-doo, baby.
This isn't a criminal. This isn't a criminal complaint. It's a civil suit. And that's why, you know, honestly, by default, I just don't believe, I can't believe any woman. I think that the fact that we allowed for this to go on for so long and for so many men to get Me Too'd and all of this stuff just based off of accusations, they've lost their jobs, they've lost their income, they lost their reputation, they've lost the thing that they worked so hard for. It's hard because a lot of the same women that is saying that, you know what, this don't make sense, was saying, yo, me too. You know, like pushing the whole narrative, and they pushed the believe all women, pushed all of this stuff. So, you know, that hard overcorrection a lot of times, and using and leveraging, you know, the fact that you can say something, because I'll give you an example. Like, a lot of these cases are not actually something that people are trying to go to court for, right? They're trying to get a quick settlement, a quick payout. Hey, listen, okay, look, you don't really want to go through this. Now you got to, you know what I'm saying, send some money, get your deal. We make this go away, and we just keep it moving. A lot of times, a lot of guys get accused. You never hear about it because they come to the conclusion it's just cheaper on my reputation. It's cheaper as far as not having to have all these court costs and lawyer fees and all this stuff. And so a lot of guys have gotten extorted, especially if you have some level of significance. And this also proves that it's not safe for guys that's single, like guys that's not in a, you know, in a situationship, or guys that, you know, a lot of times we've always thought that child support, or, you know, guys that get married and then, you know, they wind up getting divorced and losing half their shit. Nobody is safe. If anything, all of this has taught y'all is that nobody is safe. No guy is safe from the possible accusation of anything or anybody, and you got to be careful who you even keep in your circle. A chick that look good, a chick that may be cute, a chick that may be young, none of that shit play. Everything is at play now, so you just got to be very, very careful. And I feel for him because he worked his ass off every single.
But it's his own fault, though. I blame Shannon Sharpe for this. It's not his first rodeo. Come on now, somebody of his caliber, I'm sure he's dealt with millions and thousands of women. So in this particular case, I blame Shannon Sharpe for where he at, because my thing is, my brother, why are you dealing with these kind of women? I understand you might want to get your rocks off, but I mean, you got to know what comes with that. And on the flip side of that, I think it's three sides to a story: your side, their side, and the truth. Now, am I saying Shorty is lying about everything? I don't think so, because I do think Unc is kind of strict. If you look at his other podcasts, you can't even poop in front of Shannon Sharpe. You get what I'm saying? So
what does that have to do with whether he?
Whoa. Are you saying Shannon Sharpe did these things, or are you saying he didn't? Because wait, first of all, you said you blame Shannon Sharpe. How you blame him? I'm going to use feel. I feel like you meant to say, I don't feel sorry for him. That's what I think you wanted to say. But to blame him for a lady just coming out with saying that all this stuff happened to her, a couple of days after he got $100 million deal. That's a wild thing. That's a wild hill to you gonna do on that hill? That's wild.
Woman or not?
Well, I'm just talking about the other things about him being controlling. I'm not talking about the whole situation, but she did make other allegations outside of the whole grape or situation. But in this particular,
wait. You blame Shannon Sharpe,
yes,
for women, and he a single person?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I blame him for dealing with women who he know could potentially want him for what he has. Come on now, Shannon.
Yeah, that's every woman. You just got $100 million. Just got $100 million. What are you talking about? That's every woman. What woman you think you're safe with once you get that much money? Unless he went and talked to women who cover their head in their face and speak a different language, and he's part of that religion with them. Unless he went over there, who can he trust? You gonna say he can trust a lady in the church? Is that what you gonna say? I don't understand.
You don't know that.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. What woman won't deal with Shannon Sharpe based off of what he has?
Precisely. So my thing is, Shannon, you
got
to know
he should never ever deal with a woman.
That's what you just said.
If
then
you're dealing with a woman who's 30 years younger than you, probably looks a certain way, probably like the typical IG baddie. You gotta know what comes with that. I'm sure he wanted her for one purpose only, and it's to have fun with her. I'm sure he was not trying to make that woman his wife.
Wait. When did it become a crime to engage in a consensual relationship?
Yes.
All I'm saying is you got to know what comes with it.
That's nothing. That's not. Okay, I think what you're trying to say is you don't feel sorry for him in this position. But when you say you blame him, that's victim blaming because he's the victim. Unless you believe that lady, which I think you said. Didn't you just say you believe that lady kinda because Shannon Sharpe is strict on his podcast, which I ain't gonna lie to you, that's pretty wild. Pretty wild for you to do right there.
And what comes what comes with it?
With a man of his caliber comes a lot of different women who may want to use him or make accusations against him based off of what he has.
So you blame him for being successful?
No, I blame him for dealing with women who are not of substance.
He's not acting his age. You shouldn't.
So then by your logic,
stop. Hold on. Have y'all lost your mind?
No, I get where Jason's coming from.
Thank you. Like, come on, Shannon.
Trying to say that
woman, bro.
Unc is too old to be dabbling in dangerous waters because it's
wait.
So
if
that's nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with it.
I think
believe that.
Oh my God.
So if y'all really believe that, then by that logic, the high value men that you guys want shouldn't deal with you then.
Thank you. That's true. That's true. Based off that logic, if he should only be talking to women of substance, pretty much of women of where he's at, and he shouldn't talk to, then no high value guys should talk to any of y'all. Based off of that, he was correct.
Okay, well,
first of all, you compare apples to oranges.
That's not apples to oranges.
No. Man, he's a whole different caliber of man.
No, it doesn't matter though. A lot of y'all standards revolve around men who have fame, status, and resources, correct?
Ooh.
And have power and influence, right?
You just gonna act like, woman, you went on Pop the Balloon. You are definitely one of those. I don't know if you want a guy who's famous, but you want a guy with resources and all the other stuff that they say high value men got. Don't you? And she gonna just act like she's not one of them.
Who's?
A good majority of y'all standards revolve around those metrics.
What the f are you talking about, man?
What does that mean?
I don't know.
No. Hold on. Are y'all honestly listening to yourself?
I think I hear that.
I don't agree.
You're blaming a guy for getting accused.
No, I don't think.
Don't listen. Hold on, wait.
I disagree.
Nobody deserves to be falsely accused. I don't care.
Not at all.
I don't care who you're dealing with. It's just like no. If you get, not you, I don't want to use anybody on the platform. If a woman walks down the street,
you twisting it, Anton.
You didn't hear what I was about to say yet. How that my
No,
twist?
he's not.
Because you're confused on what she was trying to say.
Thank you, David.
He hasn't said it yet. What is this? Like y'all Doctor Strange? Like, what are you talking about? Let him say it first before you tell him he's twisting something.
Turn it to something at a time.
You get ready to ask how, and I'm going to explain the how before you have to ask how. So just give me like 20 seconds. Jess was
you know what I'm about to say. Go ahead.
No, I don't
think he was about to say.
I'm trying to mitigate the confusion. She's
Thank
referencing, brother, if you acted your age, you wouldn't be in these type of issues. Shannon is successful. He's, I guess, a little bit intelligent. You should be married. You know what I mean?
Dealing with women who don't have nothing.
Nah, don't let them backtrack. That Jess lady literally said she tried to use how strict he is on his podcast, that the things that lady was saying could be true. Don't let her backtrack. She said what she said. She was saying that she believes the lady to a certain extent. That's what she said. And she used his podcast and how he deals with the people on the podcast as the evidence. Now she's saying this other thing because that one makes way more sense than what she's saying, but I still don't think y'all understand what y'all doing right now. I think they just don't want men to talk to younger women. I think that's what they want. They just won't say it.
Wait a minute. I'm not saying that the young lady is, she has a right to make a false allegation just because of his status. What I'm saying is that his chances, the likelihood of such an older, successful brother, this would not be likely to happen to him in his age bracket, in his like, his background, if he behaved like a man.
You know what's so interesting about that though, Dalen?
So he has to be married at his age. A guy's not allowed to be single and talk to women. He should be married. That's what you just said. That's what you said a second ago. So he's not allowed to be single and talk to women. That's what you just said. You thought that made sense. Crack.
You know what's so interesting about that? And I can't even believe that I even have to explain this to you guys because we all old enough to be able to put two and two together.
Yeah, this is crazy.
The same lawyer sued Jay-Z for a woman that made an accusation and he had never seen her before in life.
True.
So any guy can get accused of doing something just because he's successful.
Well, we're not
That's not the
negating
point
that.
I'm making, though.
He's supposed to know what goes with that, though.
That's not the point I'm making.
Yeah, I know. Like,
But
they're
he
trying
knows
to
it,
They
right?
completely twisting it up.
If the results are the same in a lawsuit and a shakedown, then what difference do it make the circumstances that then cause it, whether he was involved with a woman or he never got involved with the woman, the fact that he becomes a target. See, this is the problem, is that we not having sympathy or empathy for the actual real victim.
Right.
See, this is the thing that women y'all coined the term victim shame, and you're doing it.
Victim blaming. You're doing victim blaming. That's what's happening. They're doing exactly the thing they don't want done, but they're doing it. It's called hypocrisy. If you look at Jess' shiny face, if you listen to her, you will know that she's not smart.
You're victim shaming somebody who is a target. And you're trying to, okay. Listen. If I see a woman and somebody snatch her black ass up because she was wearing something that somebody deemed inappropriate, does she deserve to get raped?
No.
Does a woman deserve to get raped because she's wearing promiscuous clothing?
No, but by wearing promiscuous clothing, you have to know what comes with that.
No, she keep changing. She says she blames Shannon Sharpe. So do you blame that lady? Do you blame her? Jess is trying real hard to backtrack from what she said. That's what's happening right now.
Does a woman deserve to get raped because she's wearing promiscuous clothing?
No, but I feel like two things can be said.
Why shouldn't I hold her accountable for wearing enticing clothing?
If she's going to wear that, you have to know what comes with that.
Because that's what
But y'all never say that though.
No,
But
y'all never
We
said
said,
that.
yes, we do.
Stop. So grape comes with it?
It could potentially, yes,
No,
it
the
could be a
possibility
byproduct.
of
Oh my God.
unwarranted reactions. That's what they'll tell us. You need to dress appropriately, or you're gonna attract the wrong attention, and that
It
can't.
doesn't.
Yeah,
listen,
but you know
it
what
doesn't
happens?
matter.
Men don't say what you're saying, especially if you're talking about red pill guys. They do not say what you're saying. You know what happens when you dress enticingly? You get guys that don't want to be in a relationship with you. That's what they say. You get guys that don't want to be in a relationship with you, and you get guys who are looking for wives to not deem you as wives. That's what you get. They don't run around saying that you dress enticingly. We call that dudes who grab you and put you in alleys and do stuff to you. They don't say that. This is how bad you're trying to make your argument. You're trying to make your argument so bad that you're gonna say that that's what guys who be doing red pill say now. They do the thing you're saying right now. This right here, what those women are doing are actual victim blaming. That's actual victim blaming right now what's happening.
But just like he's trying to get us to say, oh, well, you deserved it. But we're not saying that Shannon deserved it.
Y'all are missing the point. Y'all are missing the
We're saying
point.
you didn't have good discernment.
Hold on. The first thing that Jess said is that I blame Shannon for this.
That's the first thing.
I was use those choice of words, but I was giving background because I got
It doesn't matter. You echoing the same sentiment and you jumping on the bandwagon.
No,
She
not
says,
Women, no. What it is
being accused. She's not blaming him for being accused. She's blaming him for being an older man who's running around. But then you take it back to what any man could.
Why can't an older man who's successful get some buns that's early 20s?
We didn't say that he couldn't. He's blaming him for being an older man who's running around. But then you take it back to what any man could.
Why can't an older man who's successful get some buns that's early 20s?
We didn't say that he couldn't. But just like they say, well. The point is,
they never said that he couldn't, but that's what they're saying. Now, I understand that. They're not saying it, but that's what they're alluding to. Because they keep saying that of his status or a woman of this type of thing. They're playing around with the word, but that's what they said. They're saying, because listen, if you keep listening, they're talking about him being his age, talking to a lady in a younger age. That's what they're talking about.
Is that they always say that you're too old to be doing something. And yeah, if you're being up, they'll say that about a woman. You're too old to be running around.
But this the thing, though. This the thing. It don't matter if she's 20 years old or what she look like.
Yo,
because
one mic at a time, y'all. One mic at a time, please.
Sorry, can I say this real quick? Like, it doesn't matter that, because women can be a certain type of way when it comes to money, and the love of money is evil. So it doesn't discriminate on what she looks like or how old she is or anything. But it's getting to the point to where women are so allergic to accountability. We've gotten to the point to where we're really just blaming men for anything. Like, this man is obviously
to be held accountable. Nobody's negating that she needs to be held accountable, but we can't.
She need to be held accountable. Jess is changing her whole thing now. She said that she used Shannon Sharpe podcasting as evidence, and now she's saying, no, we need to hold her accountable. You need to hold her accountable now? Yeah. Oh, so you don't believe her no more. Because I could have sworn in the beginning you said, well, Shannon Sharpe is pretty strict in his podcast, so like this. So now you're changing. She has changed her whole position up now.
Can't blame him.
But that's not the blame. We can't waste our time defending someone where they're not being accused. Okay, we're not accusing Shannon. We're not saying, okay, you deserve this. We're saying the likelihood of something like this happens increases because you are not behaving like an older man who's been there, done that. You've had decades of running.
He is behaving like an older man who has money and been there, done that. You think older men who have money don't talk to younger women? You think that? You don't know his lifestyle. She's just saying words. That's what's happening. She's just saying words. You're not behaving like an older man who been there, done that. Oh yeah? Then how does an older man who been there, done that behave? Because what she said was married. So you're saying it always come back to it like you're saying he's not allowed to be single. If he's not allowed, or when he's old, he gotta talk to women who are 50. That's what's happening right now.
You guys, how many rich, powerful men? How many rich, powerful men throughout the years have dated women who are much younger? If you guys are trying to stop that trend, you guys are centuries late. Like, that's what men like to do. Okay, you're not going to change that. And successful men attract women of all ages. And look at the founder of Playboy. Look at like all of these guys. Look at the 80-year-old who married the blonde star. Like, if you guys are trying to stop that trend, that's really not. But I do. I don't think anybody things can be true, ladies. Two things can be true.
You're clearly trying to stop that. What are you talking about, Daylene or whatever her name is? Dollar? I don't hell if I know her name. You just said, you told us he should be married. That means you're saying that he, at his age, he shouldn't be dating younger women because he's supposed to be married. So if he would have married this younger lady and then she would have did this, what would be your excuse then? What would you have said? Listen, he should have known better. Or like, what else could it be? Because you had to like older men who date younger women, they don't get their stuff took from them anyways. What are you talking about? I need everyone to stay on a logical track right now because what's happening is these two, just in Daylene, I don't know her name again, they're jumping everywhere to defend it. Now I ain't gonna lie to you, Daylene or I don't know her name, so I'll just start calling her D. D, she's not jumping as hard as Jess. D, you're jumping. Because don't act like we didn't hear you say that he should be married.
Stop that.
So now hold on. Let me just say this really quick. Two things can be true. So nobody deserves to be attacked if they go outside and dress a certain way. However, if your mama told you not to be sneaking out of the house at 11 o'clock at night with them come F me shoes on and those booty shorts on, and that girl you know that you're not supposed to be messing with, and then something goes down, that's also true.
That's all.
You just proved our point.
Like I said, I have no.
That wasn't Jess's point.
That two things can be true at the
You
same
just proved
time.
the point,
But
though.
you're not going to get rich men
Yeah,
not
they both
like
are true.
young women. That's just not going to happen.
You know what's really sad is that because like this could be like this is a true like proof like okay, so a thing about me, I hate feminists. I do. I think that it's a ruin, but that's a whole different thing. But the feminists are about to start backing up this woman, right? And then
Like Jess was about to do that, but then Jess got a feel of the room and try to backtrack.
what's gonna happen is instead of women like because if we want to like try and stop this type of behavior from happening, we got to start holding women accountable. Like not giving them like the benefit of the doubt, just being like, you know, if anything, if you're not gonna, don't say anything until bigger facts actually do come out. Because if we don't hold women accountable and we just go straight to blaming men and then we sound ridiculous when we do sound blame men, like that's like a big core of that's a huge problem. Like because you can't believe all women. It's obvious what's going on. And if men are, even men who don't even have that much money as Shannon Sharpe, they go for younger women, you know, like, what's his name? TK Kirkland always says there's a group of bitches graduating in May. You don't have to deal with that. And even older women can make false accusations, you know, because they're older and they most likely are bitter and they just want to hurt, like, and when they don't get their way, it's just obvious what's happening. Now,
You know,
will.
you make a good point. I think you said something, one thing that did make sense. The accountability definitely should start, I believe, in the courtroom. If they implemented some law that if you accuse, let's just say specifically to women that make accusations, but anyone that makes something as heinous as a sexual allegation, if it comes to find out that not only a sexual assault never took place and that you indeed, you know, fabricated and intentionally lied, you know, for, you know, malice intent or anything like that, you will be subject to some sort of, you know, conviction, some charges.
Jail time.
And it
I
is
feel like whatever.
I'll do you one better.
There's no first offense. You do 6 months probation. It's a mandatory certain amount.
Whatever that man was gonna get, they should get. So if they say, okay, he's looking at 5 to 10 years. Let him find out that you put that bitch in jail for 10 years, and then
Okay.
You want to know how you make it stick? You want to know how you make the accountability stick? They need to come up with a false accuser registry. And you need to register as a false accuser and it be public record so people
like
will know.
Like a sex offender?
Exactly.
That sound like that would work. That sounds dangerous. If you had women or people, men or women, getting filed as false accusers or whatever it is, that would change so many things because you can't get a job. You ain't finna get a job now if you a person they now got you in the registry as a person who lies on people. You ain't getting a job. You're not allowed to be around children because you're a liar. You lie on the kids. Can't get a job. You'll lie on your boss at the workplace. You'll just lie. Ain't no man gonna want to talk to you. Ain't no woman gonna want to talk to a guy who's like that too. Boy, that would Anonymous, that was a great idea. If somebody need to pass that to the president, and I will sign off on it. I will vote for that person 5 times if they let me. 6 times. I'll go buy fake IDs and just do that. That sounds crazy.
Because this type of false accusation stuff, it happens in the workplace too. That type of stuff happens in the workplace.
Yeah.
Where men get accused of being weird, and then they end up losing their job with no type of evidence. So you can't say that this only applies to successful people. As a man, you always have that risk. So there needs to be something.
I'd be scared.
Because if something happens and they come up with a false accuser registry and women actually start having to apply for it and sign on it, other women are going to look and say, man, I ain't trying to get out there like that.
Anonymous.
And put them in.
Anonymous. If your daughter came to you and said somebody touched her, you believe in her?
What did that have to do with anything? If your daughter, now she about to try to do the daughter thing. We got it. If your daughter, I hate these emotional arguments. They benefit nobody and they're just annoying.
I'm going to investigate it.
I'll take. Or you can have.
Hold on. Because there's been plenty of cases. Because there's been plenty of cases on these daytime talk shows where a man gets accused of something. You can look at Steve Wilkos. You can look at any of these daytime talk shows where a man gets accused. They run the lie detector test on the woman, on the parent, and there's a lot of times where they find out that the woman made it up. And they coach the kids to lie.
Your daughter.
Your wife came.
Now, if it's my daughter, if it's my daughter, obviously I'm gonna look into it. I'm gonna hear her out. Then we're gonna no, listen, because I need to find out the details first. Because
what are they laughing about?
Based on me being angry, what if it comes out that it's not true?
No. That's your daughter. You believe you don't have to.
No. But listen. I'm being objective though. Wow, nigga.
No, listen to me. Anybody that's not your daughter, she gets to benefit.
Listen to me. Okay, but I have a listen.
That sounds wild how y'all just telling him what he should do. If my daughter told me something like this, you know what the answer is? It depends. That's the answer. No, I don't just believe people because I'm related to them or they're my child. But you know what? I have to do what he's saying. I have to do that because it's actually my duty to protect my child. So I have to go do the research and everything. But guess what? We act like children don't lie. These heifers think children don't lie. But it's your daughter. It's your daughter. That's all they're about to do.
I have a younger sister. No, listen. I have a younger sister that I helped raise. I'm the oldest of 3 kids, and my younger sister was my responsibility. So when she started to grow up, she got a little more freedom to go hang out with her friends and stuff. So anytime she ever had any sort of issues with anybody, she would come and tell me. And then I would go address the person. And I would take her with me so we can get things ironed out. I never really had to get in no fights or any type of physical altercations behind my sister.
But Anonymous, you going to investigate is the act of you knowing there's an accusation. But Jess is asking, you are getting to know once you hear it, do you believe it at that moment? Of course, you're going to investigate regardless if you don't believe it or not. You're still going to have to investigate because of
this is what I'll do.
Hold on. How y'all gonna tell him how he feels?
Thank you.
Wait. How you gonna debate him on what his method of resolution would be?
Because he's not answering the question.
He said that
he definitely answered it.
He answered it very clearly, and he added additional context. How y'all gonna tell him what he should be feeling?
Could he lying?
Should be feeling.
No, I'm not. Listen, because I gave.
That's Jess right there. There she is, smiling away, looking dumb.
You an example
because it's the answer they want to hear.
Wait. because I gave an example of how I handled conflict when I was a much younger guy. I'm 36 now. I'm talking about when I was 14, 15, 16, 17, being responsible for my younger brother and sister, and I still handled it like a grown man.
But that's what
I don't just jump to conclusions right away. I need decent
first. That if you believe that you'll jump to a conclusion.
Let me tell you what they're used to doing. They used to going to their man, going to their father, going to their brother, and having that motherfucker crash out.
True. I was just about to say that.
You know what happened? I remember it was a case.
Nobody
mentioned a case for a former football player. I don't know if y'all remember this. And he was into it, and he was in a relationship with a woman that also she was married. He wasn't. And I think she had like broke his PlayStation or something. It was a significant case. Somebody in the chat, tell me if y'all remember this one. And I don't remember his name, but she went and got her brother and his friends and brought Travis Rudolph. That's his name. Shout out to the
I know. Yeah, go ahead.
She went and got her brother. That motherfucker got killed. And she was lying.
That's a terrible
and she was lying. Hold on, wait. She was lying.
No, that's true.
She was lying. She got her people hit up, and he wound up going to trial, and he wound up beating the case. But the fact that he had to go to trial in the first place was problematic because it showed you that a woman that was emotional then went and fabricated an entire story and got her people hurt as a result of it. And so what we're used to is women thinking that they can get one up because they get bitter about the situation and don't take accountability for what it is that they're dealing with. And so what happens is they used to putting the battery in somebody's back to get them to crash out. And this is because y'all trying to move the goalposts to make it seem like men should make an emotional decision to remove. Y'all gotta let me finish the sentence.
You're lying on us. Let us finish.
To remove responsibility from the girl from making false accusations to try to come up on a guy. The reality is that this is the reason why guys do not trust women, is because even when it's very clear that a woman is leveraging the system in order to come up on a guy, y'all still don't give her any responsibility or accountability. And so y'all as a whole still stand on sister code. And this is why guys don't fuck with y'all. This is why as a whole, guys don't trust women no more. And me personally, I am telling them to make sure that they protect themselves against the people that is their number one enemy, which is the person that they probably sleeping next to. The person that you're sleeping, somebody that's watching this, for all of the 3,000 plus people that's watching this right now, somebody is sleeping next to their worst enemy. And when you close your eyes, just remember that is a person that is the worst for you.
That's a wonderful speech for individuals that believe you should
shout out to y'all.
And take your pitchforks and attack someone. Back to what Jess' original question. If this was your daughter to Anonymous, we said when it comes to your daughter as a man, I personally believe you believe your daughter off rip. You can keep the fact
you don't.
No, you don't. Stop saying that. You don't believe nobody off rip. The fact that you keep saying this is already a problem. This is another reason why when he said like, I don't know, like 10 minutes ago, I don't know how many minutes ago was it? Whatever.
What if your daughter's a liar?
Wait.
That's true.
Kids lie all the time. I'm pretty sure. I'm 100% sure. Listen, I'd be willing to bet $1 million cash that when you was a kid, you lied your ass off. I'll be willing to bet $1 million cash right now that if we talk to your parents, one of them, either whatever, your aunts or uncles, they will tell you that, I remember when Daylin was lying her little black ass.
All of us lied before.
Guarantee
you can get off topic for a few minutes.
I'm not. That's very.
He is not off topic. That is definitely on topic. You just said you should believe your daughter off rip. You just said that. He's saying that children lie. I I'm willing to bet when you was a kid, you lied all the time. That's what he said. That's completely on topic. What do you know what on topic means? Do you know what getting off topic means? This is wild.
I sold bubble gum and I lied about going down the street to play on somebody's trampoline when I wasn't supposed to. But when you want to talk about lying about a sexual allegation as a child, because what do you know about sexual anything? And what do you know about purposely making a false allegations that you know can get someone seriously in trouble? You didn't lie and say
They do it all the time.
They do it all the time. If you'll lie about something small, why would I be the fool to believe you won't lie about something big? You lied to me about bubble gum in your pocket, or you lied to me about doing this little thing. You think I should just fully believe you about not lying about something really big? Do you know how idiotic that sounds? That's the reason why the saying is, you scratch a liar, you get a thief. What are you talking about?
Yeah, especially with social media.
What Anonymous did, what Anonymous said, was the most logical answer that a person can give. He said, I'm gonna go find out what's happening. I'm gonna go investigate, and I'm gonna go figure it out.
Because you believe.
And then when I get additional information, then I take the appropriate course of action, because you gotta understand something. Hold on, ma'am. With us being black men, you have to understand something, that with how we move and how we think and how we behave, we got to make sure that we conduct ourselves in the most professional and logical manners possible.
Conclusions. I get that, because it's not the point. The point is, because even if you're saying that, okay, I'm not just going to automatically jump and believe you, because if I do, because the strength of the black man and how much we protect our women and our family, if I find out that someone violated you in that manner, I'm going to go kill them. So I cannot.
That's what. Hold on. Stop there. Stop there. This is why we need to remove. This is why we need to remove y'all right to vote.
What are you? I just repeated what he just said.
This is exactly why we need to remove y'all right.
And I don't know what you sniggling for, Anonymous. These were your words.
I don't think he ever said that if he believes his daughter, he's gonna just go out there immediately and delete somebody. I don't think he said that. But you know, I can tell this is not.
This is why we need to.
Yeah, but my answer wasn't good enough for you.
I did not say that, brother. I did not say that.
Listen, the fact that you're pushing back on my answer means that it wasn't good enough for you, because if it was good enough for you, you would have accepted it and moved on.
No, it's because you're lying.
Ma'am.
There you go.
I don't want to say that.
Y'all, one person at a time.
I don't want to say that he's lying. You're getting emotional because we're saying, hey, as a man, when it comes to your daughter, I don't know if you actually have a daughter or not. Your daughter, you don't. Okay.
Wasn't that like gaslighting or what? What was that? He's getting emotional because he gave you an answer, and now you want to add stuff onto his answer, and he's saying, "No, not that," and you keep doing it, but now he's getting emotional. What?
Okay, but if your daughter, well, I'm happy for you, brother. If you had a daughter and she came to you, Daddy, this happened, you automatically will believe.
Hold on, y'all. We gotta mute in between talking, because there's a lot of commotion going on. It's a lot of stuff.
Just because you believe your daughter does not mean that you will be so emotionally, I guess, unstable that you would immediately go and kill someone, because you just said, hey, you can't just say that to a black man because we'll crash out. But hear this.
Well, take race out of it. Just me being a man in general.
As a father.
Listen. I'm still expected to put my emotions aside and make a logical and rational decision based, regardless of how I feel. If somebody cuts me off on the road, I'm not going to try to track them down and crash their car. If somebody bumps into me, I still have to analyze that situation.
Wait. Stop. We're getting too far away from the subject.
Well, I can't even finish the thought, because I'm letting you know I'm not saying that you are
crazy out your mind. You crazy in real life.
I'm not pushing your answer back. We were just saying that you do believe your daughter. If she say that, because you investigating it means that you believe her, but it's not going to say that.
That's not what that means. You investigating something does not mean you believe them. I mean, you're doing your job. Your job is to do that. As a father, as a man, your job.
I'm automatically going to punish or assign the guilt to the person that she accused.
That's not what it means. If
a
person says that they're going to they go investigate to figure out what happened, it doesn't mean that they default automatically believe the person. It doesn't mean that they don't believe them. It doesn't mean that they do believe them. It just means that it means what he said. It means that he's going to go
saying that there's a difference between hearing this, like in this type of conversations, hearing about a friend down the street, as compared to your child. It's somebody else's problem, but you're going to be your child's voice. So no, in your mind, you don't have to say, okay, this happened to my daughter. I'm finna let everybody know, and whoever she accused, I'm gonna treat you like you guilty. That's not what I'm saying. Your daughter said this. You trust her enough to believe her in that moment between you and her, and you are going to take the adult route to say, you know what, as the adult, I need to investigate everything she told me. I'm going to ask all the pertinent questions, everybody involved, and I'm going to effectively, appropriately, and with self-control investigate until I can confirm that the ass whooping in question that I need to give someone is justified.
Hey, fellas.
Yeah, but when I said that, you said I was a liar.
Hold on, hold on, y'all. Hold on.
I didn't call you a liar.
Y'all said I was lying.
The best way for y'all as men, the best way for men to protect themselves, y'all got to mute up in the background, whoever it is. The best way for men to protect themselves is to stop dealing with these broke bitches, to be honest with you guys. I'm being real. I'm being absolutely honest.
You just
she was crazy for saying that, but go ahead.
Can y'all hold off for a second? It doesn't mean that he's wrong. All right, you gotta remove that part of the conversation. Shannon Sharpe in no way, shape, or form, in my opinion, is wrong. Not even a little bit. Not at all. But what I'm saying is, guys have to take expertise. It's almost like
you're proving the point right here.
I'm not.
This is not Jess's point. It's not. I kept trying to give benefit of doubt. I kept trying to make it sound like it, but she doubled down on it by using evidence on him.
You got to let me finish. It's almost like I'm not wrong for not going outside and carrying protection. Like, I'm not wrong for not carrying a pistol. But if I get robbed, you can't hold me accountable for getting robbed because I'm green or because I was in the wrong area at the wrong time. I'm not wrong. I'm the victim. All right. Now, what I'm saying is, in order to not become the victim more often, maybe you should carry protection. In this instance, what I'm saying is the form of protection is to not deal with women that are not on your level financially.
That's what Jess was saying.
That don't have.
That's my point.
Are y'all not listening to what I'm saying?
You're not saying that, because when Anomalous said that, then that means high value men shouldn't deal with women like you. You said we're now talking about apples and oranges. So you're not talking about the same thing. This is so much backtracking. It's disgusting now. It's just getting disgusting. Big screen. Boy, this video was long. I'm tired. I'm tired of listening. Like, do you know if I was actually in this panel, I would have by now just been laying back, probably found me some sweet tea and a cookie. If I had milk and cookies, I think I could last. But still, this was crazy. Jess backtracked the whole time. She was in the beginning using Shannon Sharpe, saying that I blame him. And guess what? The lady saying, you know, it sounds true. Why? Because Shannon Sharpe does this. And now they're both saying that no, Shannon Sharpe didn't do nothing wrong but be around this lady. First off, y'all don't know how the industry works. Y'all don't know how men with money work. Y'all don't know how industry stuff work. What Anton's probably saying is that, first off, he's not new to this. Shannon Sharpe has money. He's had money for a long time. He's probably been talking to younger women for a long time. This lady threw a monkey wrench in. So he did nothing out of the ordinary besides now defending himself. And what y'all are saying is that because what she said was, Shannon Sharpe, you should be married. Oh, you don't tell me to be married. What's the benefit for a man to be married? This is the only thing? Even though we all know this happens to married men as well? What are you talking about? Instead of messing with younger things that you think look good, you should be talking to women that are older or be married to a lady, because then this wouldn't happen, even though on both sides it can happen. He makes too much money. This can happen to him about any woman. Well, you know, it doesn't matter. Anton did a good job trying to tell them that they're crazy. Anonymous, you did a great job. They lied when they said that you didn't answer it, but Jess kept saying you were lying, so she acknowledged you answered the question. But you know, both of them weren't on the same page. They weren't at all, because Jess is stupid and D, she just talks really fast. I'm not gonna call her stupid. I'm gonna say she just talks really fast, and it gets quite annoying. Besides her backtracking from the marriage thing, she said that he should be married, so I judge you for that. But yeah, this was annoying.
Oh, you didn't know what that was? Oh, that doo-doo, baby.